Alright, we're back. So now we got to work on the drilling these holes. So I measured the bushing, it collapsed 2/1000. So that leaves me about 6/1000 to hold on to this one altogether. So this one here, it's a couple thou plus 10 on this side. So it'll be a little harder on that one. Alright, so this here takes a pin in here, and this is what locks the kingpin in there. So it looks like about a 1/4 inch hole. Oh, look at that, it's a 1/4 inch hole. So what I got to do is I got to run a drill through here. That's more than a reamer will do, so let's use a drill. Nice new titanium plated 1/4 inch drill. Amazing. Now our first problem is the head is way out of whack up in here because somebody of unknown person moved that damn thing. So I got to get that back to where I can use it drilling. I'll still have to come back and tram it all in so it's nice and flat and square for milling, but for drilling it doesn't have to be quite as close. So we'll just use my little digital protractor here, compass, whatever you want to call it. So to move this, we've got to loosen up these 3 screws here that pinch this whole head right here together, and let it tilt up. Get that out of the way first thing. So the first thing I do is loosen these up. Alright, I'll take all the load off of it. Okay, so this one has a big worm gear up there. It's up inside of there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but anyway, it's up in there. It's a big worm gear. So you turn this bolt right here, that one, and that turns one worm gear and the other against the other one. It's a big circle and has a big cut in there for gear. Kind of like the plate has right there. Kind of like that setup right there. It's got the worm gear and the screw that moves it. Alright, so going up is harder than down because you're fighting, 1,000 pounds of gravity, whatever that weighs. I don't know how much that weighs, but I'm sure it weighs at least 400 or 500 pounds pretty easy, probably 500. It's a load in the truck by itself, it's just like a motorcycle. Alright, let's see what we got here. We going up or down? We are going down. Ooh, it's the hard way. See, now I gotta work harder now, see. I only got my finger once. Let's see, you can always go by these on the side, but if you do, don't hold your breath on it being accurate. Alright, we turn this thing on. There it goes. Now if your milling machine's level on the ground, which mine is, it gives you accurate numbers. 0.14 degrees off. But which way are we off? Too much. Down. Three. Oop. Going the wrong way. 4. Back up. 22. There's an 03. Okay, you got some tension on these. And you put a little torque on them. Carpal tunnel in your finger. After a lot of years, you get sore when you do this. Okay, that one's tight. That one's tight. And that one's tight. And you can still move the head with those tight. Just takes some effort. Okay, let's see if it moved any. We were 0 something. Looks like we're 02, 07, 02, 05. Okay, it's an O number. It's close enough for what we need for now. 01 that way, 04. There you go. Okay, when you now screw up there when you're done with it, always make sure you got pressure going up. That way vibration gravity won't let it settle on time. You'd always have the gear it's sitting on top of. So that's the key. So I'll leave that out for now. So for now that's close enough for what we need. Later on I'll trim the whole table, which is taking the indicator across the table and get it within a couple tenths for that 10-inch circle. That'd be pretty close. All right. Now you go up. Power up. Tatro power up. There, tired already. Okay, next problem. Someone's got this piece of crap in the way. Always got something in the way. It's always heavy. Alright, that one's out of the way. Okay. So now we need to get this centered up. That hole's not very tight there, is it? So, if I chuck it up right here on my vise, if I can, then all I got to do is worry about this angle here being off. And hopefully we can hold it in the vise. It looks like we can do that. I want to be up in the air a little bit so we don't drill into my table. Okay. Now, ringers are more accurate for hole location because they're closer fitting. So right off the bat, just by eyeballing this thing, you can see that this is pretty close to vertical. The average is straight. You go this direction and the average is not straight. Plus you can see it's not straight here to here. So this needs to go up. Now I don't know if this is supposed to be straight here or not. I have no idea. There's no reference here except eyeballing it. So if you go this way one way, that way the other way, get them to look about the same. Pretty close. Now, if we can come up with something a little more accurate, like a different drill that might be closer. have our letter drills over here. Here we have something about 257 to work with. 277, 250, and F is 257. So that's a lot tighter fitting in the hole, but it won't go in the hole, so it's too tight. Didn't work, see? Doesn't fit. Okay. Almost. Okay, so we just leave it at that, or we go to some other tools. I don't know where those other tools are at. I think we're just going to have to go with what we got. Okay, I can probably use my compass here to get a little bit closer deal on this. This doesn't have to be perfect, but it'd be nice to drill through the other side of the hole accurately. Going the wrong direction. Oop, that's a big move there. 88.2. .87 even. .87.5. 87.8. Turn the drill, reamer 180. 87.6. 87.3, 6 now, 7. About the same right there. Okay, we'll lock that in right there. So that's our number. Pretty close. Now, if I want to make sure it doesn't drop, we can put something under here to block it. It shouldn't really drop down any. I don't think we're not going to be drilling it that hard. At least I'm not planning on drilling it that hard. So I'm going to take our canoe 1/4" drill and go straight down right there like that. Should go right out this bottom. Okay. We are going to come up some more. Should be enough. Handle back in here. Too far. Okay, that's enough to go all the way through. Okay, we eyeball it side to side on the drill rod here. That one centered, that one centered. Okay, so you turn it so the straight crossing your flute right there. Load it up a little bit so you can see where it's going through down here. Down the lower, see. So you get the flute going straight this way, so when it goes down, you see how it shifts over on you? Not sure what you're looking at here. So right over here. So you watch it how it moves over, you're off that direction. Turn it 180 and check it again. See how it doesn't move over? So that means we're not centered. So we're just going to move this over a little bit. It barely kicks over at all, that's too much then. Come back with you though. Okay, see how it moves over just a little bit. Turn it 180. And see it barely moves over. So you gotta go the one out back this way. Still kicks over just slightly. I can feel it contacting, just barely moving. Go back over here, check this one. Looks about equal. And on that side. Zero that out, give it about 3 or 4 thou. There's 4 more thou. Not quite that much. That was 3 3/4. I'll bring it back to 2.5. It's 2 thou different there now. Looks good. So you can guess pretty quickly. You can see real quickly what you're doing there. Okay, now we should be able to just drill that thing straight through without it having a problem now. So I'm going to drill it through at low speed. Some cutting oil. What do I do with my cutting oil? Right in front of me, that's where it's at. Okay, right now we're at 85 RPM. We have to get this faster than that. We'll try about 300 RPM. Pretty slow for this size drill, but I don't want to walk over too much. And it is pretty slow. 490 is too slow, too fast, I think, for going through this or what. I was drilling pretty fast with it before. Yeah, we should be able to drill at 400. There, 490. Oh, hey dumbass, where's the power? Contact, power on. I can only try at 490, see what happens. Worst case, we burn it up. We'll see. So I'm going to drill right through that and not go too deep, hopefully. A little drag on your bed up here so it doesn't self-feed. Cutting right now. Feed real slow. I could use the automatic feed also, but use your second hand to stabilize so you don't drop too much. Once we grab a hold of it. See any hard chips? Appears to be going through. Now, that's straight through. Alright, there you go. appear to still have a cutting edge on there too, which is a good thing. It means we didn't burn it up. Alright. And now, the chips are coming out. Now there's a hole through there. So, there you go. Oh, you got one more to do. Yeah, we'll do the same thing on this one. See how much this has a way less holding power than that other one. That's a different angle. Okay, where's our... Should we do that? Obviously we're not even close. Not much holding power. Very, very little. Okay, let's see if we got room for this in here or not. Oh, it just makes it. Okay, there's our 87.9 that way. 88.3 that way. So that time I'm within half a degree of being straight, which is plenty close enough to work from, but 88.4. 87, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80, 88 even. So I'm going to go a couple tenths. There's 3. 88.2. What happened? 88.1, 88.2, 88.1. Okay, turn it 180. Give or take a little. 88.2, 88.1. Keep going back and forth. This one's 88, 87, 88.1, 88.1, 88.2, 1, 2. Same thing. Flash between 1 and 2. Okay, so we're good to go on that one. Okay, just make sure this thing is tight as we make it. We don't have much holding power, so you gotta make sure it's tight. Okay, you don't need that no more. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing again. We'll see if this direction's the same. I did it equally location, it should be. But it's not. In this direction here, we're off quite a bit still. Split it up a little better, you can see what's going on there. That way. Now this one's closer. More. Fell that way. This falls in nice and easy. Kicks over just a little bit. And the other side kicks over a little bit also. Come back and dowel. One thou back. I think it got worse. I'll go back to 0. Okay, this one here. Alright. 40 thou different this way. Okay, so I'm going to drill that one in. Try that again. Hear it? Wasn't happy. I hear it bouncing. See my hand pulsing. Sure we're turning in the right direction. We are. It's almost like it's going backwards. Going through. A little bit harder cutting on this one. Alright, that one went through. Definitely was not as happy as the first one. Cutting edge still looks good though, so wasn't a dull bit. Just a little bit harder. And we got a hole through that one now too. There you go. See a big chunk of metal on the inside of this direction also, which is going to be a problem. So when I hone that, it's going to go back and forth a little bit between where that broken metal is going to go in. So I'm going to have to run the bit through a couple times after I hone it to break the flap of the material off that's in the way. I'll try using a little little deburring tool. Called the hand scraper. So go in there and try to pick on that a little bit in there. See, it's got a little hook on the end of it. Allows you to get in the edge and kind of work in the side of a hole. These are called three-sided hand scrapers. I don't know if you saw that chip just blew in my face, but it's a good thing. Okay. There, we pretty well cleaned that out now. It's not there either, so that worked pretty good. Do it again. Little burrs and chips in there. Pick on that a little bit. It doesn't seem to have a big one like the other one did. So this first one cut better, so even though the drill doesn't look like it's dull, it obviously dulled it after we did that. Alright, part's done. That's the honing. We'll be back.